There we go. Now we have a microphone. We are live. Hope you liked my new intro, my new little countdown timer. And I'm going to murder a dog tonight if he continues that. Hey, welcome to DeWitt 3D on this wonderful Sunday evening. I'm Tim. I want to thank everybody who's here so far. Let's see who's here. We have Non-Fam, Jerry 3D Printing and Painting, SPC 3D, Travis, and that's it so far. Well, that's okay. There's a few more people watching, but you guys are the ones that have chimed in so far. So good evening and welcome. Hope everybody remembered to set your clocks ahead last night, early this morning, whatever it may be. Oh, Dwayne, welcome to the channel, Dwayne. How are you? So we are officially we're not in daylight savings time anymore. We're out of daylight savings time. That's always confused me. I'm a big fan of leaving it as is, keeping it, leave it, don't touch it. So anyways, but that's an argument for the governments and for the municipalities and the cities, et cetera, and for those of you folks that live in time zones where they don't change the time twice a year, you're lucky. It's a pain in the butt sometimes. So anyways, as I say, if you hear a little barking in the background, it's my pup. He's upstairs. I threw him in his kennel and he was barking even worse, but he barks at everything that goes by. So good evening, Dominic. Welcome. How are you? So we're going to do something a little different tonight than I've done on my channel before. Usually it involves a printer or printing or assembling a printer. But to be honest, I've run out of printers to assemble. So tonight I just want to talk a little bit about some of the accessories that I use to help better my 3D printing or to help me work with the models after I get them all 3D printed. So I'm going to, wow, he is barking a lot, and I'm going to go up and do something about that if he doesn't stop. I'll be nice, honestly. Worst thing I'll do is put him in his kennel. So, and that'll slow him down. He barks at anything that moves outside the windows. And if we close the curtains, he barks even more because he thinks he's missing something. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. I don't think he's going to be too much of a distraction. But anyways, I have a few goodies on my table over here, right here, that I'm going to talk about tonight. Some goodies, some stuff I haven't opened yet, and other things I have opened but I haven't used yet. And so yeah, I just wanted to just go over a few of the different things that I'm using. And what triggered me to get a lot of these things was I'm sure all of you are aware of the droid build we've been doing. So I've got a little bit of I've got, you know, my droids in a couple parts here, but I've got to do a couple things. I got to change out a couple servos on the legs of the droid here. I have the head working now. I hooked up a battery and my remote and tried the head, and the head nods up and down and tilts left to right, so it's working good. I just got to get some Ninja Flex in, the lighter weight, more rubbery Ninja Flex for the legs, and I'm going to get that done this week. But doing this and the previous project has really basically encouraged me to pick up a few accessories for this thing. And I just wanted to talk about a few of the things I got. Now, some of these things, as I say, I haven't opened, I haven't even used. So you guys are going to open them along. I'm going to open them along with you guys tonight for the first time, and we're going to give it a shot. So with that, we'll get at it. I'm excited right here about this one because I've seen this in many variations before. And I'll just show you what this is. If I pull this up here. So this is a mini electronic screwdriver. I decided to go for a no-name brand here, which is this one's called a YZH mini electric screwdriver. It got some really pretty good ratings, not too bad, but it's got some pretty cool features to it. I like how it's got a slim design. It's supposed to have pretty good torque to it. It comes with a really nice variety of bits, a magnetizer to magnetize the tip so I can pick up screws and so forth. A nice LED light on it, yeah, and a little bit of a work pad there for it. So I just wanted to try that. I've never tried one of these. I do deal with a lot of little screws now and again. You know, some people might even say I have a screw loose. So, hey, oh, hello there. I just saw you pop in there, Incendium. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. So without further ado, I wonder if this camera is going to be too close. No, this camera's pretty good. So let's go ahead and open this up. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to be keeping an eye on chat here as well. Let me know if my sound is okay. I'm not using the same microphone I used last weekend because I had a few issues with it. And I'm gone back to the old clip on the chest microphone here because I think that works a little bit better than the other one that I had running. So anyways, without further ado, let's delve into this box and let's have a look at this mini screwdriver and we'll see how it works. And what I'm going to do, if time permits after, is I'm going to put a couple of these things together that I'm showing you here, and we're actually going to do a quick job on a 3D printer. So let's open this up and see what we got. Okay, we open and we have a nice pretty box inside. This is YZ8's tool, A Better Life. We'll see. So, okay, so let's get rid of that outer box. Recycling. And let's look into this one here. Oh, I should turn it so you guys can see it. Here, I'll just read upside down. Dum-ba-da-da. Open that box. Inside this, we have a interesting. Oops, let's turn it back so you guys can see it again. Precision maintenance. Magnetic attachment. Magnetic work table. Okay, so looks like in here we have. Okay. Nothing else in there. So it looks like we have a nice little, so this is the magnetic work table. So we have a whole bunch of spots on one side and obviously a magnetic work surface underneath. So cool. Let's put this aside. And then we have in here, this looks like a user manual. Probably tells me to push one button. Looks like it's got a little battery power indicator on it. Little magnetizing block there. I did read some of these specs on the Amazon page, so, and that is different languages. Okay, cool. Throw that aside here, and then we got, well, looks like there's a little tab to pull a box out here. We got a box, and we have, that's a USB symbol, so I'm assuming that's going to be a USB charging cord. And we have one box that says attachment. Okay, I'm just going to put these boxes aside. Ordering some pizza pie for Pi Day. Oh, is today Pi Day? Oh, right, because what's the date? Today is the 14th, March 14th, 3.14. That's right. That's all I know about Pi is 3.14. You've been wanting some since Strange Parts got one in a market. Okay, cool. Pizza Day, Pi Day. I had no clue, but I do know now. So let's open this attachment part and see. I guess I'll just open it on the bottom here. And it looks like we have a suction cup. Okay, because a lot of these little screwdriver kits, these mini precision screwdriver kits are sold for repairing phones and so forth. And so obviously that's a, oops, hang on. I've got that stuck. There we go. Obviously that's a suction cup for taking, and that's very strong, for taking the screens off of phones. Okay. We have a little bottle with, comes with some screws. Look at that. A little bottle to hold, I guess, if you're taking screws off of something, and if you're like me and prone to dropping tiny little screws on the floor, little bottle to hold the screws in. That's kind of cool. And we have, this looks like it must be the base for the screwdriver. It's weighted base. And that looks like the magnetizer. That's very light actually for a magnetizer. Wow. I assume though there's, I'm probably there. It's not very heavy for a magnetizer, but probably just cheapo. Who knows? And then we have what looks like, I believe this. I've seen this before. This is a little tool for lifting up the glass on an iPhone, an iPad, whatever, to lift up the glass to get it started, and then you use the suction cup to continue. So, okay, you got the Wow Stick. That's the, thank you, Sansa. That's the one that I was trying to remember the name of. Is the Wow Stick is the one I was looking at, and it's a little more expensive than this one, but I thought I'll just go with a no name and just try it and see what happens. I have until the end of April to return a few of the products I bought if I'm not happy with them. So, plastic screw you're pretty happy with. That's good to know. And J5WE3D, welcome. You're the one that mentioned the pizza and the pie day. Yes, you got some from HF, and it's okay. It was cheap, though, with coupon. Yeah, cheap pizza's good. Pizza's pizza. I have one good pizza place around here, but I don't order it too often because I get bored of it pretty easy. So in here, as I suspected, it looks like we have a Wi-Fi charger. Or Wi-Fi, the USB charger for the screwdriver. Well, let's get into the nitty-gritty now. So we'll put those few things aside in that box. Let's open this up and see what, whoops, don't want to rip that necessarily. Oh, that was just to pull it out of the box to make that easy. So I think we'll open the end and we'll get rid of that box. And we have a nice Y8Z, A Better Life. Oh, it's a Ziploc bag. The no name looks exactly the same, even the accessories. Well, we'll see. This one was, let's see, I don't remember what I paid, but the price today is $49.89 Canadian. So that's for us Canadians here. So I would say that that is probably, what, $35 US or something for my American friends watching. And if you're overseas, I have no clue. So let's get this out of here. They don't make it easy. There we go. Throw the plastic bag aside. And nice looking case though. Oh, I see. It doesn't open in the... Oh, okay, I see the... Oh, that top pops off. There's the bits. Look at that. And then... Oh, both sides. Oh, okay, there's bits on both sides. So there's a pile of bits there. Turn it over and there's a pile of bits there, and then these covers just stick on with the magnetic little snap-on things here. Pretty cool. And then here we have, okay, here's the actual screwdriver. Looks like we might pop it out here. There we go. Comes in a tube. Let's open the tube. Hey Gary, how are you? Hey Eman, how are you? Let's pop this open and here we go. It's light, actually. It's quite lightweight. It's nice. So there's the end where the bits go in. And then looks like we have the battery indicator along here. And on the bottom, USB charger port. Wonder if it's got any charge to it. Oh, it does. You can hardly hear that. Here. See if you can hear that. I've put it close to my mic. Oh, that's got some torque to it. If I want to lift, once I turn it on, got the little LEDs that light up. So light up the workspace. Very cool. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, we have to give it a shot after, but so I'm just going to put one of the bits in to try it. Does it have, I'm pretty sure it should have torques, not torques, Allen key bits. Yeah, so right there, here we go. So there's a, I'm not even sure what number that is, but that looks like about the same size that we would use for a lot of the M3 screws. So that goes in here. And then we, single speed, not multi-speed, but it's got, that's, yeah, I can't stop that with my hand. Nope. That's pretty good torque. It's got pretty good charge to it already. It might not even be full charged. So that's kind of cool so far. That's kind of cool. It's lightweight. And let's see, do I have anything here I can screw? That doesn't, things that sound nasty but aren't. Yeah, let's just try, let's just see on the head of this droid. Oh, look, I even have the right size bit. Let's see if I can unscrew one of these M3s. Oops. Oh, pretty good. Oh, that's, yeah, that's pretty good, although the bit just went flying. So that works really well. Let me just go back here and cover that bit. Well, it went flying. I'll find it in a minute. Anyways, oops, I hit the wrong button. Let's remove that again. And let's come back here. There we go. So that's pretty cool. It's a decent size. I never look to see if the lights come on when the No, so I don't. I guess that indicator is just when I'm charging. It's just going to show me how full the charge is on it. So yeah, so because it doesn't come on and there's no way to tell me how much charge is left. So we'll just have to use it and see. Oh, spending lots on tools lately, building a Voron. Okay, and you also got a neat little soldering iron. I want to get a cordless soldering iron one day, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm just going to throw this back in the tube. Remind me to look for that bit that fell. It's just over on my other desk over there, so won't be a problem finding that. So that's one thing I bought. This little mini power screwdriver. So nice filament in background. Which one? Oh, the one right there? That is Arion Silk Gold on my Mingda Rock 3. Right now it's being used as a table for a bunch of stuff because I had to clean up a little bit for this stream. I've been doing a lot of work around the studio. Let's get this back in here. Let's see how hard this is to get back in. Well, that's kind of cool. And that just sort of sits there as if it's the hinge for that, for this. And then that lid pops on. And that's a nice little kit. Lightweight, easy to handle, and holds all the bits right in there. Pretty cool. Well, hello, Miss Maria Webster. Look, hey, are you hitting on me online? Maria Webster's my lovely wife. She is watching from her sister's house, and I'm sure that Leanne is watching too. Hello, Leanne, and kids, and whoever else may be watching right now, family. And if my family hasn't subscribed to me, you guys all have to subscribe to me. That's the law. So one thing I was going to check, I'm just going to run around and grab that bit. Yes, I figured you were all watching, so I'm going to grab that bit that just flew off. Where did it go? Wow, it really flew. Well, I'm going to have to do a little bit more looking around for that later. Although that's the one that I'm going to want, I think, after. But, oh, no, that's not it. Okay, anyways, don't want to interrupt the show too much looking for a bit. I will find that later. Karen wants to know where her hello is. Well, hello, Karen, or shall I call you Brendy? Hello, Karen, my lovely, wonderful mother-in-law. Welcome to the stream. You like the case better than the Wow Stick case? Yeah, I've seen, when I looked at the Wow Stick, it had a, it looked like the Wow Stick case had the driver part, plus it would hold a little tube of bits, but it would only hold 1 or 2 tubes of the bits. So, Karen, you hear about her on TV all the time. Yes, Jerry. That's the Karen. That's the same Karen, too. Why do I think I'm going to regret saying that? Anyways, okay, that's the mini power screwdriver I got. Why did I just clap? I don't know. I think that's a nervous thing when I clap. So, but that's okay. She loves the Brandy shout out. Great. Well, that's great. That's just between me and my mom-in-law when I call her Brandy when her name is actually Karen. So, okay, item number 1 down, which is the, and I just clapped again. I got to stop that. Okay. We'll put this aside for now. I'm going to use that if I can find that bit. That's bothering me. Hang on, let me look over here where that bit fell, because I'm going to need that same bit in a bit. See what I did there? Same bit in a bit. It's not under my table. Isn't that just the case? You drop something, and I'll probably find it. It fell this way, but I'll probably find it 30 feet over this way somewhere. A Bose Slim 3. This guy right here, yes. I've had this for years. And it's a great speaker, excellent speaker. And it's very reliable. The battery, it doesn't hold the charge as much as it used to because I've had it for probably 8 or 9 years now, but I keep plugging it in. A boot, you mean? About a boot. Yes, that's a boot, right, Jerry? Okay, let's go over to the second build camera. Right here, I'm going to come over and look at this camera for you guys right now. So this is the other device I bought. Now I got this mainly. This was gotten mainly for my other business, for my full-time gig. We do a lot of shrink wrapping at my full-time gig, and we do it the old-fashioned way where we heat seal the corners, and then we take a heat gun and we wrap the packages. And the gun I have, I tend to quote-unquote steal for when I go do sign installations, and I keep forgetting to bring it back. So I saw this guy, and let me pull this up on screen for you guys so you can see exactly what this is. And the price is actually good right now on this thing. And this is a cordless heat gun. It's a 40-volt lithium-ion battery. I believe it's 40-volt. No, 20-volt lithium-ion battery, cordless heat gun. Got great reviews. Right now it's on sale, Canadian $129 with a $10 coupon. So you're looking at 119 Canadian, which is about 80 bucks US. So, and overseas, I have no clue. So anyways, yeah, so this I got to bring into the shop, but I thought this would be this goes kind of hand in hand with these things here too. So I may end up, you know, stealing this from the shop. We'll see. It's my business, so I can do it. So let's open this up and see what it's all about. I've not tried a cordless heat gun before. I've tried a corded one, so we'll see what a 20-volt lithium-ion cordless heat gun can do. So what we'll do is, as I open this, why don't I bring this little, why don't I bring a close-up camera in on this scene with me? Let's do this, and we'll add this, and we'll go like this, and that's going to bring that in, and we'll just bring this down in the bottom corner here so you guys can have a nice view of what I'm doing here as well. So we're going to open this little bag. This contains the accessories. Well, I got to remember I'm looking over there. Hi, Mom. Hi, Maria. Hi, fam. And this is some accessories. These are little, I guess, accessory tops that you can put on the top of the heat gun. So I have no clue what this is for. Scraping paint, maybe? I've not seen one of these. I'm assuming that might be for putting on the top and then for scraping paint off the walls or scraping paint off of wood or scraping old stain off of deck boards. Who knows? Obviously, this is for concentrating the heat in a little narrow blah, blah. Anyways, accessory tips for the heat gun. User manual, cordless heat gun. Now we can open the actual gun, which is in here. And it's, without the battery, it's nice and light. Oh, and it's got a safety. Okay, oh, it's got a lock on and lock off. Okay, so if I bring it under here, right on the side here, where you would normally see the reverse and forward switch for a drill. So without those push, the gun doesn't work. If I push this, the gun works. I don't know if I like that. It locks on, and then to get it off, I have to push that again. But there's no way just to hold it triggered on unless it's this way. Nope, it locks on either way. So I have to hold this trigger in with the thumb and pull this to use it to keep it on from locking. Otherwise it locks on, and then, yeah, I don't know if I like that, but we'll see. I haven't used one of those before, so we'll see what that ends up doing. So okay, let's dig a little deeper in here. Again, I have until the end of April to return this. Shall I not like it? Because this has to definitely be able to shrink wrap packages. So under here we have, there we go. Looks like the, oh, that's the battery. Oh, that battery is heavy. That's huge. That's the battery that goes on this. Okay, 20 volt. It's got a battery charge indicator, and it looks like we are halfway charged right now. So I'll be able to give this a little bit of a test then. There's a little bit of power left in it. And then, of course, remaining in the box, we have the battery charger. So you guys have all seen a battery charger before. Same lights on the front indicates the condition of the battery based on what's going on. Nothing a little screw cannot fix. True. That's a good point, Senza. Very true. Okay, so let's put this box aside. Let's keep everything together. Shall I decide not to hang on to this? Whether it works here or at my other full-time gig. And let's pop the battery in. Now, people are going to say to me, you said this was 3D printing accessories. What does a heat gun have to do with 3D printing? Everybody on here could probably pop an answer why they could use one of these in 3D printing. This is great if you have stringing. If your print comes out, especially in PETG, you can sometimes get a lot of stringing. I got a fair bit of stringing inside this guy when I printed it. You can't see it right now because it's all basically interior. You take a heat gun to this really quickly and it just makes that stringing magically disappear. So that's a great way to get rid of stringing on your prints. But I got it for one of the next things I'm going to show you as well, and this will come in handy for doing this heat shrink tube for wires. Exactly, Jerry. Thank you for everybody's going to have a reason they could do this. So let's try this. I'm going to point this right at the camera. Actually, let's do the close-up camera for effect, and let's see if this actually heats up. Let's ready and there we go, and it's. Yep, that's getting, there we go. You can see the glow. I don't want to, yeah, you can see the nice orange glow there. You can see that on the other camera. And yeah, that's getting pretty warm. Although, let's just see. Whoop, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see, there's a little bit of stringing on the outside of this. Let's just see what it does. Yeah. Hard to see, but it is getting rid of. Let's see, do I have anything with stringing on it? You can see a little bit of stringing just on the corner there. And you don't want to hold it in one place too long on PLA especially, because it will soften your PLA pretty quick, this kind of heat. So yeah, it works good. And so yeah, that does get pretty hot. So that's not bad. I'll have to take this into my full-time gig and see how well it works with shrink wrapping packages as well. But that's just on. Now I'm down to one light already, so I think this thing definitely needs to be fully charged. And it may not be putting out full heat. It's still glowing pretty red hot there. I'm not going to touch the tip because, although I know you'd all want me to, and it would give me some more hits and likes on YouTube, but I'm not going to do that. So there we go. So that's, I'll give that a test. I'm going to put this on the charger right now because I do want to use this and try it out with the next item that I'm going to pull out here. You have a Harbor Freight $9 heat gun. That's not bad. So you smell flesh. Propane torch. Interesting thing about propane torch, Jerry. Me being in the business I'm in, which is the sign and printing industry, signs, decals, vehicles, etc. In the U.S., for doing vehicle wraps, a lot of the installers, I got to turn this heater down. There we go. In the US, a lot of installers use actually a propane torch for installing vinyl on vehicles, and they're good at it. I've seen them do it. Up here in Canada, and a lot of installers down in your neck of the woods too will use heat guns for installing vinyl onto vehicles, and that's so that they can stretch it and do what they need to do it. I've tried installing vinyl on vehicles with one of these. I'm not a very good vehicle vinyl installer, so as far as doing the full wraps go. So anyways, I'm going to pop this off here. And it just comes off nice and simple, like, there we go, like anything. I'm going to pop this on the charger, and I'm going to let this charge a bit, and hopefully I can get a bit of a charge when I test it on the next item up for bids on DeWitt Price is Right. Terrible sense of humor, I know. Okay, so let's plop this on the charger here. Now that I have 2 added breakers in my studio, I can confidently charge my batteries. So let's see, I have a blinking blue light, which indicates, according to this, that it is charging. I'm going to go murder a dog in a minute, maybe. We'll see. Wow. He does not want to be quiet. Just, can you guys hear a barking dog? Senza, we don't do vinyl wraps. A couple reasons. We're a small operation. We don't have space where we are to pull in a vehicle. Now, I do have a colleague which runs a sister company to ours where I could bring a vehicle. Now, I haven't been offering wraps. These guys just recently opened. The problem is if you mess up one panel of wrap, if you're an inexperienced wrapper or whatever, you mess up one panel, you've basically cost a profit in your job. It's not that fun. So I leave that to the guys that know what they're doing, and I leave it to the experienced people that do the wraps. There's enough people out there that wrap vehicles right now. So the barking is very faint. Okay, well, that's good. No, the dog's happy, but he's looking out the window of the front of the house, barking at anything that moves. And he just does that, and we're trying to get him out of it, but we just haven't been able to yet. So, okay, next item. The next thing that I've gotten, and I'm going to bring you onto the close-up camera. Well, let's get rid of all these heat gun accessories for now. I may use one of those after for this next item when I try it. Oh, and Marcel, I didn't say hi to you. I didn't see you pop in there. I probably missed a few people that have popped in, and if I have, I apologize. And while I have this chance, right down below here, there's a like button and a subscribe button in this general area. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you like what you're seeing so far, please subscribe. I've done a lot of videos, and I just try and bring in content that might be interesting to people. And if you like my show tonight, give me that like, and if you don't, be honest and give me the thumbs down. I don't mind that. I can handle some honest criticism, no worries. So the next thing I decided to try, and I have a reason for this, and part of building these droids is why I want this, and I'll show you exactly why. But this item, and I'm going to just show you the screen here, this is called, these are called solder seal wire connectors. Let me pop it up on screen here to show you that on Amazon. And I'm sorry, all these links are being shown on Amazon Canada, but I'm sure everything like this is available in the US as well. Probably is. So these are called solder seal wire connectors. This was a $35.99 for the complete set, 200 pieces. So, which is not a bad deal at all. So if I bring this up, this set gives you a nice variety of different sizes, from the blue ones, which the white ones right in the middle there are the smallest size, all the way up to the yellow, which are the largest size. So, and what these do, which will save me a lot of headaches. Let's get rid of you. Bye-bye. Let's go to the close-up camera. So I've never used these. So from what I understand, I'm going to show you a little thing I did here. So for my droid, I had to, because I'm using a lithium LiPo battery, lithium polymer battery, which is 11.1 volts. Now, for the servo motors we're using in the droids, we have to be down to 6 volts maximum for the servos. They're 6-volt servos. You had bad luck with those connectors, so you went back to soldering. Well, we'll see. Again, Amazon, if I don't like them, I boot them. So anyways, to go from my 11 volts, I had to use one of these buck converters, which ironically enough, it's called a buck converter, but they cost about $1 US. So coincidence or not. So they're about $1 US each if you buy them in bulk. So I had to go from this to go from my 11.1 volts. Thank you last night for those folks, Jerry and everybody, that helped me realize that you got to turn this thing for 6 miles before it actually changes the voltage. And then I've got it coming out to 6 volts. And I just threw one of these connectors on here. And then this is what the one in the front that goes to my battery. Because I threw one of the, so basically what happens is I plug the battery into this end like so, and I know I'm getting power because I get the blue light on my buck converter, so that tells me the power's coming in. And then I've turned the voltage down, so I get an output voltage of 6 volts, and then I connect that to another plug here. Now where I kind of want these things is, this is pretty bulky. What I've been using to connect these wires is these little pinch and go connectors I got a while ago. They work really well. You twist the wires together, you plop them in here. It's got a conductive gel in these things, in case your wires aren't completely tightened, but then you just pinch them together and they're good to go. And then this is the end that goes into the transmitter, or the receiver in the robot, which is right here. So there's the receiver for the droid, and then plug into the receiver for my power. So I don't like this. It's kind of bulky. So I thought I would use Hello, never let the machines win, Mike. How are you? So I thought I'd use these, which I've never used before. I did open this up just to see. So apparently, what you do is you come in, you take one of these. Now, I'm going to just try something here real quick. Where's my nippers here? So I'm going to just destroy my beautiful, oops, come on camera. I'm going to destroy my beautiful little job here I did, which was working just fine. But inductor says, so the buck converter is so named because the inductor always bucks or acts against the input voltage. Okay, cool. But they do almost cost about $1 US. So I'm just going to nip those off. Okay, I'm just going to do one for now. And then, so the way this is supposed to work, then I'm going to take my handy little wire stripper. This is a cool little tool. So I'm going to put my wire in here. I'm going to strip off some wire. And then I'm going to take my tiny little wire, strip off a bit of wire. All you pros out there are looking at me going, he doesn't know what he's doing, but hey. Electronics is pretty new to me. So I'm going to strip off a fair bit of wire there. These things are great. Anyways, you use a barbecue lighter with those. Okay, well that might work too. I'm sure that would work too. Just a heat source, even a wireless soldering iron. I'm sure you can get those little propane torches. So apparently, what you do with these is you pick the appropriate size, which I think in this case might be the white one, and I have to slide this through over, just so that goes on the wire. Now, anybody out there who's used these, correct me if I'm wrong. And then I twist these wires together. Okay, I think. Although that's kind of not. Now I think no. Actually, if I read the instructions here. Oh no, it doesn't even look like they have to be twisted together. It looks like they just have to be paired side by side. Maybe this is why they are. So if I put this in here, and if I slide this back, keeping all the wire together. Okay, see, no, never used these before, so somebody over there, oh, I'm doing it correctly, build over bot, good, built over bot, good. Twist it together. The white one might be a bit small for the one wire that I'm using. So you pull that over. Let's just make sure this is good and twisted. Now, some of you out there are saying, man, I could have soldered that thing by now, and you're probably right. I think it's like anything. You got to get used to it. There we go. Then we bring it into the middle. So it's right in the middle, so both wires are exposed, and there's a little bit of solder or something right underneath here. Now, I believe that once I have it like that, then I take the heat to it. So let's... I know there's not a whole lot of charge left in that heat gun yet, but let's just grab it. Where did I put it? Here's the heat gun. Here, let me switch this while I'm doing this. I'm just going to grab the heat gun, pop the battery off. I'm sure there's going to be enough charge in this. And I think in this case, there we go. I'm going to put this little guy on here. That'll concentrate the heat right out that tiny nozzle so that I'm not wasting. That'll allow me to aim tighter. Those jointers are called, this is just called, let me go back to this. This is called a solder and seal connector. And I do have everything I'm showing you right now, there is a link to in the description of the video to the Canadian Amazon site. So yeah, hey, red light. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken now that I've got this, so what I did is I threw this tip on here just to concentrate the heat right out that tiny nozzle so I'm not burning my hands while I'm holding the wire. So we're going to go back to the close-up camera. Oops, see, that just fell out. So I think I'm going to just see if I can't get that put back in. So the wires are connecting underneath that little copper part, or sorry, the solder part. Yeah, I can see these things are finicky. Mind you, these are small wires too, and I don't have the best eyes. There we go. So if I have that right under there, just like that, and then we're going to go ahead and heat this. So we're going to take the heat gun. It's going to take a second to warm up. And then I believe these things will also shrink wrap around the wire. So let's see what's going on here. Hopefully that's a decent view. Okay. Oh, now we're getting hot. Now, this is trial and error. I don't know how far I've got to go with these, but I know there's a little bit of solder type thing in there that's got to sort of melt. But I also don't want to melt the wire, the plastic around it. Okay, so let's just see what this did. Wrapping together first, yeah. So this, okay, I can't really pull it apart. I can if I yank on it, I could pull it apart. So it's definitely connected here. If I yank on it, I could pull it apart really hard, but it's basically, it's holding. Okay, it's not necessarily, is that going to focus? I don't know if it melted any of that solder in there or how hot I could get that. Well, I definitely got two different thicknesses of wire here, which is one side's a little tighter. I'm going to heat that a little further. Just right, I'm going to concentrate right on that little soldery piece right there. I'm sure this thing is meant that it can take a little bit of heat. There we go. Okay. Then get 2-finger wet with mouth and cool. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're cooled off. So, I mean, that's a lot cleaner and a lot less space than these blue pinch connections I've been using. So let's just test and see if this is actually going to work. So I'm going to plug in the battery. And I know the battery is connected because I got the blue light on the buck converter. And then if I plug this into the power end of this receiver, I should have a blinking light, and I do. So it did work. So that actually successfully went from the big blue ugly thing to the little white thing there, and it worked really well. Cool. Very cool. So, yeah. Let's unplug the battery. Directly solder and put shrink wrap. Yeah, I'm not the best at soldering. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys this. Okay, it's kind of embarrassing. I'm not a big fan of soldering. I'm not that good at it. I have a soldering station here I've had for a while. It's just a cheap one off Amazon. It's called a Vastar or something like that. It's got a little temperature adjustment thing, on off switch up top, and your typical soldering iron, blah blah blah. So I've used that for a few different projects. I have this stuff, which is flux that I've used, which I find if you flux the tips of the wires, man, they solder a lot cleaner. And I have probably what's considered cheap solder. So anyways, so I did solder the wires onto this buck converter. Now, if we look in the close-up camera here, 3 of them I thought turned out pretty good. So let's have a look in the back. There we go, focus. So I thought, yeah, see that one there? It's got a little. This red one up here has got a little bit of a tip on it, but it's holding. This black one over here is kind of ugly. It didn't really work well. But I thought these two down here, I thought they turned out. Well, if this thing holds its focus, I thought they turned out pretty good, the way those things soldered in there. So, yeah. And I think, like anything, this thing should be able to focus a lot closer. Oh, it's probably focusing on my hand. No, it's focusing on this stuff here. I'm being stubborn. Tripod has the same camera, and he knows. There we go. So I'm kind of happy with those 2 solder joints there on the end pins. And I just went through, yeah, so they worked out pretty good. But again, you've seen a lot worse solderings. Well, thank you. But yeah, so I tried, so I tried that, and I've tried soldering. I have trouble even though I have these helping hands things with the claws, I have trouble holding wires together and getting a good solder joint on them. But I think like anything, it's just going to take some practice. Yeah, so I'll finish these two up later, and I'll use these on it. But yeah, so this does come in a variety of different sizes. As I say, the white one is the tiny, small one, all the way up to the blue ones, or no, the yellow ones are the largest ones, which is going to hold like your 6 gauge. See what I know about wire. Anyways, I know wires come in gauges, and I think the smaller the number, the thicker the wire. So I believe. Anyways, so that's those are not bad. I kind of like that. I can live with that. So those are the solder and seal connectors. They work obviously with this heat gun. This is probably going to end up at my office for a heat shrinking gun for packaging. Let me put this back on the battery charger, give it a full charge, and I'm going to take it to the office tomorrow and try it. And yeah, I could just use a little, I might look for a little butane torch or something to heat those up with, but we'll see. Okay, on to the next item up for bids. All of these, no, they're not, it's not up for bids. I was watching I don't believe he's on tonight, but BV3D, Brian Vines. I was watching a video of his last week, the week before. No, we'll get to that right now. And he kind of turned me on to, and I've heard of these before. And I've heard several people talk about these before. What's Marcel asking? Do you have more than one tip for your soldering iron? You need more fine tip for small wires. I do. I wrecked one tip, and I don't remember how, but I know I can buy more tips for it too. So that's pretty good. So you're saying that, see, the tip that I have on it right now is about like that. So I'm guessing that I can get a finer tip for it than that. So yeah, oh, there it is. It's easier to see over the black case. So yeah, that's pretty fine, but I'm sure for a lot of the finer stuff, I need a better tip than that. And I know I need to somehow treat those tips and burn them in or something. So I'm going to look into it. I mean, I could do an online soldering. I'm sure I could go on YouTube and find some courses for online soldering and stuff. So anyways, what we're going to talk about next is these things called Ferrules. You guys have all heard of them, I'm sure. I've heard the name before, but I didn't realize how important they were. And basically, I got a Ferrule crimping toolkit on Amazon. That's actually gone up. I didn't pay that much. I know I paid about $32 or something. So Amazon Canada, probably the same down there. Their prices change almost daily. So you gotta, if you see a deal that you know is a good deal, I say jump on it if it's something you want, because this has gone up price for sure. Anyways, so yeah. They're called Ferrules. So this is a really cool little kit that I got, which includes it includes a Ferrule crimping plier, okay, which is this guy right here. I just learned how to use these by watching, number one, Brian Vines, and then I watched a couple YouTube videos on it, and it's a pretty simple thing to do. But I've never actually, prior to 3D printing and hearing a few people mention Ferrules, I've never heard of them before. And what they're used for, everybody on this stream probably knows, but maybe somebody who's watching are going to tune in that doesn't know, where the connectors connect into your power supply, or anywhere where you have a wire going into a screw-down terminal connector or so forth. You're either going to have, number one, bare wire twisted, put in and screwed down, or number two, you're going to have, I believe it's called tinned wires, which the manufacturer has gone ahead and soldered the tip of the wire. They've twisted it, soldered the tip of it, which I believe is called tinning. I could be wrong, but that's my limited knowledge. And apparently what's wrong with tinning is you tighten that wire down in that little, whatever you want to call it, terminal. You tighten the tinned wire down, heat can build up. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of heat in these wires, or a little bit of wear and tear, and what's going to happen is that over time, those tinned wires are going to loosen up, because what you've done is you flatten down that solder to tighten the wire in, And then if there's a little bit of heat expansion or anything going on in that terminal, that wire is eventually going to loosen up, can come out, can cause a fire, et cetera, et cetera. So from what I have seen, all of the wires and all of my 3D printers I've bought so far that I've actually taken apart and looked at the power supply have had tinned wires. And I know that there's a few a few people out there that are big supporters of cutting off those tinned wires, burying the wire, and twisting it in with bared wire. And then it was Brian Vines was the first stream I watched where he actually showed these things, which is really cool. And so that's the overhead camera. I want the close-up camera. So this is a kit that I bought, which, as I say, came with these crimpers, and it came with 1,200 pieces. Oops. Oh, I don't like that reflection there. Come on, of assorted terminals, of Ferrule terminals. So we open this up, and basically it has the color refers to the size. So we have everything from tiny, tiny ones, which are the white ones again, which is kind of funny that the white solder terminals were the smallest ones. So we have the tiny white ones all the way up to the largest, which in this case are the red ones, which is going to hold a nice large gauge of wire. So I likely will not use a lot of the larger ones for the type of stuff that I would work with in the 3D printers and so forth. I'm guessing I'll either use the blue, the red, possibly the gray, the black. I'll have to wait and see. So, Jerry, are you still in here? I guess I could be popping these up too while it's on, but it's tough for me to keep pop on these things while I'm showing. But hey, I'm trying to get the habit of doing this as well. Anyways, so yeah, so the idea is basically that you go through and cut off all of the tinned wires out of the printer and replace it with a Ferrule terminal, because what's going to happen with these apparently is, let me see if I have a piece of wire here I can just demo it with. Let me just go to my overhead camera. I'm going to see, I have some wire. I happen to have a pack of wire right here, or right here. So let me just open this pack of wire. Yeah, I just have a pack of this wire. Just happened to come with some. This is for another project I was working on a couple years ago. And this is 20 gauge wire. 20, I believe it's 20 gauge. Anyways, doesn't matter. So I'm just going to pop out a piece of this wire. We're going to show you here, Marcel. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this wire off, just to, say that's a piece of whatever wire. I think that's 20 gauge according to this package, but doesn't matter. So hope I do Brian well by demonstrating this properly. So first of all, I'm going to strip some of the wire off. So basically, if we have these ferrules that are about, looks like we need maybe about 3 or 4 millimeters of wire, because you want the wire to come up into this metal part where you're going to be crimping it. So I am going to strip off about 3 or 4 millimeters. Actually, let me do this on the close-up camera here as well. So I'm going to put this guy in here, and we're going to strip off about that much. 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters. And we'll do the same on the red one. About 3 or 4 millimeters. Okay. So then we twist these. Hey, Mark. No problem. We twist these guys. Okay. Now basically the trick is to find the proper size ferrule. So this is for me. I mean, somebody could look at this and say, it's going to be this one and this one. But now the other thing to keep in mind here is when you do this on the printer, you want to almost do it one wire at a time, because now, I have a black and a red wire here, but it doesn't mean I'm going to put a black and a red ferrule on it, because the black and red ferrule are different sizes. Okay. So I think in this case, a red ferrule is probably the one that's going to fit this. Based on that, possibly a gray one, but I'm going to try red. So basically we would put the wire in the ferrule. So what's happening is the actual bare wire is going into the barrel, the metal barrel of the ferrule, and the red So when I push this in, the red is stopping. So that tells me that I'm probably close to the right size, if not the right size. Okay. The chart on the lid says what gauge is. Okay. Oh, right there. There we go. So the red says 18 gauge and 22 gauge for the white. Oh, here, let's get the camera up here a little more. And the gray says 20 gauge. Okay, well, so I guess according to this, well, what was this wire? The wire, the package of this package says 20 meters, 65 feet of 20 AWG. So that's going to be 20 gauge. Okay. Thanks for pointing that out, Marcel. So then, you know what? Let's put the red back, because according to the chart, the gray is for 20 gauge. So let's try the gray. So I got the wire twisted. We'll push it in. So just until it stops, because it's the coating, the wire sheath is stopping at the end there. And then we open our crimper. The crimper is self-locking. It's like a ratchet system on the crimper. You'll hear it. It ratchets. Okay, and then we put, trying to do this, so you notice it's got a square opening, so it's going to crimp it basically as a square. So we put this in the crimper. Oops, my hand's in the way. Let me try and get my hand out of the way so you guys can all see this. So we put it in the crimper like this. And then we tighten it down. Whoops, don't let the wire come out like I just did. There we go. We're going to hold the wire in. Then we're going to just crimp it until it's done. And then basically what I've done is I've crimped it all the way. Okay. You can see that. And then when I let go, so then it basically crimps it evenly on all 4 sides. There we go. We're going to focus. So basically crimp that evenly all the way around. Okay. Now, if I go to pull that, okay, I can't. Okay, I am actually pulling, just so you can see. I'm not faking it. I'm pulling really hard, and I cannot pull that out. So there we go. So that crimped that extremely well and tight. And then you basically just take that, boom, plug that into your wire terminal on your printer, on your power supply, on wherever there's a wire terminal, and you're all set. And then that's not going to shrink like your tin solder joints would. So we'll do that again. So we'll grab another gray one, because I got tons of gray ones here. It's not like I'm going to go through all these. Okay. And then we'll just pop that in there. That dog is still barking. And then we're going to go into the crimping tool. Okay. Oh, like so. Squeeze the crimping tool as far as it'll go. Just like that. I didn't even have to crimp that too hard. That's geared actually quite well. It's easy to do. Let go. And then we have again another successful, whoops, another successful, nicely even crimped wire that I can't, no matter how hard I pull that, that is not coming off. There we go. So I'm going to go around eventually, I think, and maybe even tonight if I have time and you guys are interested, I'm going to go and I'm going to probably replace eventually all the wires in my power supplies of my 3D printers and onto the boards with those. So that's great. Great little tip. So yeah, I'd heard of the name Ferrule before, but I've never actually seen them in action until I watched BV3D's video. Go ahead and check out Brian Vines' channel, BV3D. He has a series where he shows replacing these. Now, again, the only disadvantage, if you want to call it that, is they're not color-coded according to wire. They're color-coded according to size. So unless you can remember which wire goes where, in this case, it's easy because you can see the red and black positive, negative wire. You know, just do it one wire at a time in your onto your motherboard or whatever, and then you can't really mix it up. So yeah, pretty cool. Anyways, that is the other cool thing. And again, I'll show you the link to that. The link to that on Amazon is down in the description, amazon.ca. For any of you American folks, just basically I would just suggest just highlight and copy the name of it and paste it into your US Amazon, and I'm sure you'll be able to find them as well. There's many, many different ones. Spade and eye loop tips. Oh, I wonder. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. Wouldn't be hard to crimp, but that's a great little crimping tool. But yeah, so there's many different brands out there of this. I just picked one that happened to get, in this case, if you look right, where's my mouse here? There, if you look right here, this one has 15,932 ratings, 78% 5-star, 1% 1-star, you know. So this one had really good ratings. So I thought, hey, it's got decent ratings. I read some of the reviews. The negative reviews were just people whining about minor things like it came damaged or it came late, nothing to do with the actual product. And yeah, that works really well. So there we go. Let me get rid of this. Oops, this mouse confuses me. And yeah, so that's the Ferrule kit, which I'm really happy with. And then a couple other little things. Oops, let me put this little Ferrule tool away. And I just like the way it comes in a nice little kit with the tool and the ferrules, and it just packages up and zips closed, just like so. There. And the brand I got was Persiva. Okay, the other thing that was sort of listed on my thing, which is a cool little, oh, this is my little Ferrule tip warranty card. So the other thing I got was this little, and I got this sort of on a whim when I was talking to John at Tripod's Garage. And everybody probably has one of these, but I did not have one at home. And Maria, if you're still watching, this is a great little for scrapbooking and stuff, or any around the house hobbies. And it's such a simple little thing. It's but a hot glue gun. I got this one. Everybody probably has hot glue guns. Most people would have them. I never had one around the house. I haven't used them much before. This is just a simple on-off switch one, single power. You can get them with multiple powers where you can dial in the voltage to them and so forth. I didn't need to get that fancy. This one is, again, an Amazon purchase. And all these Amazon links are down below. And just so everybody knows, full disclosure, I do not have affiliate links with Amazon. I don't have enough subscribers to have affiliate links with Amazon yet. So these were all my own purchases with the option of returning them, yes, if I'm not happy with them. So, but I wanted to get them and show them and let you guys know what I've been doing. So here's where I got the glue gun. This one was the, I don't even know, yeah, Topelec mini hot melt gun. And again, I look at the ratings, and this thing got 1,304 4.5-star rating, 70% 5-star rating. So you know what? And again, all the negative reviews on it were basically people whining about different things. It came with a fair number of glue sticks with it. Yeah, so you guys all know what a hot glue gun is, so I don't have to go into that much into too much detail with that. But yeah, and so what I've used this for, and it was basically I learned a lesson the hard way, and it was Tripod's Garage John that basically, and I think Jerry has, Jerry, I think you have a hot glue gun as well. But so for instance, if I'm building a robot, there's a piece that goes on the top here. Okay, so the way this head of this robot works is this whole head turns, okay, up and down with servos that are mounted inside the head. Okay, and this gold piece, or this gold head plate, is held in by a screw right inside this hole here. Now on top of this, let me find my pieces here. On top of this hole, to finish it off, there's like a little cover that covers that, which basically hides those screws that are in there, covers it up and finishes it off nice. Now, on a normal given day, without me thinking, because I did something like this on the last droid, I would super glue that on. And that's great. But what happens when something happens inside here and I need to change a servo, or I need to fix something or whatever, and I've super glued this piece on? Well, instead of super gluing it on, I can just take a couple little dabs of hot glue gun, dab, 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 put that in place, boom, and it's on there. It's serving its purpose as a decorative cover. And then if I need to get to it again with the hot glue gun, it's very easy for me to pop off versus if I use super glue. So I did make that mistake on the leg of a previous model where I super glued something on and I actually had to get back at the servo. Fortunately, I was able to work around it, but if I ever have to replace that servo on it, I'm going to have to break that leg and reprint the leg. And that's this guy sitting right there. Him. So I was able to fix it. You remodeled that part and made it a cap that clips into place and a small antenna coming out of the middle for fun. Cool. That's what I love about these models. But anyways, small little $20 glue gun. Came with this, and it came with, where did I put them? Came with a whole, right here. Came with this whole package of glue sticks. So this will last me forever, right? So, and it's cheap, 20 bucks. Not much that can go wrong with these. So anyways, that's my little glue gun. My little friend. And speaking of glue, okay, that's sort of, I mean, we're at my hour now, and that's sort of all the things that I wanted to talk about. Acetone will release super glue, but what will acetone do to the plastic? So if I had to get that little cap off of here, and I've got this super glued in, and then so I'm going to drip acetone in around, but what's acetone going to do to the finish of my print? I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to try that. But acetone's good. You know, if I super glue my fingers together by mistake while I'm doing some gluing, which, has anybody hands up if you super glued your fingers together by mistake? Anyways, yeah, I know acetone can dissolve that. So, or if you get super glue in your hair or something. So, sorry. IPA will release it. Okay. Yeah, IPA, yeah. Okay, but an IPA, I guess, depends on the concentrate. Will release super glue? Are you sure? Okay. Rubbing alcohol will make hot glue release. Okay, good. Okay, so IPA. Oh, that's what Travis means. So IPA will release hot glue. Okay, that's good to know. Speaking of glues, hands up and feet, don't ask. Really, 3D Makers Hub. Okay. Speaking of glue, I discovered a different kind of glue. Let me just clean up a few of these parts that I made on my desk here. And I think it was Jerry, 3D Printing and Painting, that kind of turned me on to this. When we were talking about, I forget what parts we were talking about gluing together. I think it was when we were gluing the wheels into the servos or something. He talked about he used a super glue with a spray activator. I'd heard of that before, but I'd never been a non-fan. Put his hand up. Good. See? Not just me. I'm glad I'm not the only, I guess, well, I mean, mind you, we've all stuck our tongues to cold poles too, right? Well, you Southern Americans and you Vegasers aren't going to understand that, but minus 30 degrees, playground, pole, somebody dares you to stick your tongue to the pole. Whole new story. Anyways, Jerry mentioned a spray activator for a super glue adhesive, and I'd heard of it before vaguely, but I've never tried it. Well, I went to the hardware store the other day. You glued your fingers this afternoon. See, we all do it, right? You're holding a part because you're holding the glue, and all of a sudden you realize that your finger is stuck to that part as well. So anyways, I went out to my hardware store, and I believe this was $19.95 or something. This was Velcroed to this. Excuse me. Got it in the paint section of Home Depot. Wrapped like that. So we have the super instant bond adhesive, 100 mils, nice size bottle, with the activator spray. And it says use on trim or everything. Look at that. And this stuff, and it says bonds in 3 seconds. And it bonds in 3 seconds. I use this. What part did I use this on? In here. Was it in here? Yeah, on here, on the front. To put the eyeball, and the little column and nose, and even this whole plate inside here. So the way this stuff works is you put the glue on one side of your piece. You spray the other side of your piece. I held them together and I counted to 3, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and it was stuck like glue. No pun intended. No pun intended. So that's something new I learned. So, and this works great. Well, you know what? Let's just try something. Let's look. Let me go back here to my, I have a package of, not a package. I have a bin back here of failed and miserable 3D prints, etc. So any of my failures, I keep all my plastic because I want to recycle it eventually. So here's a couple plastic pieces. These are off. This looks familiar to those of us doing the droid right now, but I'm not going to use these. I could, but I'd rather use these for my demo purposes. So let's just go to this close-up camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my super glue. Now, how many of you out there are now saying, I hope he glues his fingers together? Yeah, I know. Some people probably would. So I'm going to dab a little bit of glue here. This stuff comes out pretty quick. Just a tiny little bit right there. Just that little bit. Okay. And I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to take the spray activator. Don't know if this stuff is toxic or not, so I'm going to hold it away from my face. I'm going to just, that's it. Just a little bit of spray activator on that. I'm going to hold these together. Okay, 1, well, 2, 3. I'm going to throw it right up my monitor because I trust it so much. Look, okay, see if I can separate them. I broke the part. So that bond, 3 seconds. That is the best adhesive I have seen. And I thought I had a great adhesive for PLA in this. This works great, mind you, but this takes 24 hours to get 80% strength. This was 3 seconds. Look what it did. I could not rip that apart where the glue came on, and I'll never, ever get that apart. That bond is stronger than the print itself now. So anyways, thank you, Jerry, for bringing that up. And as I say, I found this in my hardware store, Home Depot. Came as a package, I think it was $19.99. And that's a pretty decent size. They have a half size, but this is better value, and I can see this coming in handy. So another tip for those of you out there that want something to glue PLA. I'm sure this is going to work the same on PETG or pretty much any plastic. This bottle says it works on wood, stone, glass, vinyl, steel, PVC. So I can see this coming in handy around the house. So excellent tip for you guys out there. Excellent tip from Jerry, and I thank you very much. 3D printing and painting Jerry, check out his channel. He gives some great advice on a lot of things. So that's a wasted piece. So if I want to print another droid, I gotta reprint them. It won't fuse PLA, but works good. Won't fuse the PLA. I think we're not talking about this because this fused the PLA really well. Who's running to the pool? Running to the pool to see how many fingers I glue together. They're all pretty good so far. But you know what? If I spray, no, I'm not going to go there. Sorry, not going to go there. That's not hairspray. Another little thing. Again, you guys all have these, and I'm just showing these in case there's somebody on there that says, "Oh, what a great idea." I bought this little guy off Amazon. I think it was $15, and it's basically a magnetized metal tray for holding the ones that are magnetized, for holding little screws as you take things apart. And that one little nut is obviously a stainless steel because it's not magnetizing. But that's a great little thing to have as well when you're taking a printer apart and you're undoing all your screws, because, you know, When you're dealing with tiny screws like this, I tend to drop them. But if I drop them in here, other than that nut that just fell on the floor, it holds all those little screws really well. So I know. This little guy. Okay, you guys have all seen this before, I'm sure. I first heard about this. This is called the Stanley Fat Max Chisel. I heard about this on Chris Taylor, Neary's 3D Print. You guys all know Neary's, his channel, Chris. He uses this Fat Max chisel for getting PLA off of hard to remove surfaces. So I use this on my FlashForge Creator 3 print bed. I'll use this lightly on the Creality glass beds. You do not want to reef on it. You want to take the weight of the chisel. If I have a bed here, let's see. Here we go. Here's my build plate for the Creator 3, which happens to have some filament left on it. This particular build plate, it holds really, really, like I cannot peel that off with my fingernail. But if I take this with just the weight of the chisel, I'm not even 2 fingers. Just like that. Takes it right off. So this is a great little, that was a great little piece of advice he gave me one time for buying this. It's the Stanley Fat Max chisel. It's extremely sharp on the tip, so you got to be really careful with it. And it basically folds up into itself as a safety handle. So another great little tool that I use on a regular basis for removing. I'll start to remove a print with it as well, but then if I have a hard time getting one of these flat chisels under it, I'll start it with this one, and then I'll get this chisel under it, and then I'll be able to, because if I do this will sometimes bend the piece too much and break it. So, but this has been a really invaluable tool, and I think it was like, again, 20, 25 bucks on Amazon. So what's not free? You have a butterfly knife that folds like that. I've actually gotten to the point where I can actually fold it with one hand now. And then when you go to take it out, fold it with one hand. So just showing off. If I do that too many times, I'll chop a toe off. So yeah, so that's kind of it. I just wanted to do something. As I say, I've built all my printers. I got some more coming in on Amazon from Kickstarter, but I've built them all except for sitting right back there somewhere. And behind there is the second FL Sun Q5. May do another live build on that now that I've built it and I know what I'm doing. I may not. So use a dull chisel to scrape filament skirts off all the time. Yeah. It all works good. I've been a victim of taking the chisel and trying to get a print off and hitting the hand. I mean, I think we've all done that. Same as we've all glued our fingers together. But yeah, this little Fat Max chisel it just makes it so much easier. You got to be careful with it because it's extremely sharp. But again, 2 fingers. You never have to dig in with the weight of the chisel or without anything more than the weight of the chisel to do that. So that's all that I had that I really wanted to show you guys. I don't think I have any other tips. I mean, everybody's seen the little magnifying thing, the helping hands, the plumber's putty. Never know, right? But no, that was a whole different repair job. And of course, I mean, everybody has the old multimeter. So if you're into this hobby, you have a multimeter. And the other thing that building these droids has caused me to have more than I ever thought possible. I have like 6 different cases of different size M3, M4, M5 screws and nuts and bolts. So you can never have too many of those around. So yep, that's about it. $10 for the round tray, $13 for the rectangular tray. Yeah. Is it the same size? Yeah, I don't remember what I paid. I just know that they were relatively decent price. And when I'm not using it, I just stick it to the legs of my workbench here. Because this workbench, you can't really see on here, but the sides of this workbench are metal. This is one of those Husky workbenches. So pretty much like I have this camera right here my Creality camera when I'm not using it. I can just stick it to the side of this workbench. Keeps it out of my way. So, any questions on anything? Is there anything else you guys, any ideas you guys have? Neat little things that you guys have used that you would want to talk about? So, but otherwise, that's kind of all I wanted to do this week for you guys, was just to give some quick tips and tricks on some different things that I've been using. I won't get into these, but some of you guys might know what one of these is, but that's had some pretty good been pretty useful around my studio as well for a few different things. That's I don't even know what you call that, but that is a precise sized brick. I use this for a dual Z gantry, a dual Z axis, a dual Z. And I use these blocks go down one on either side, because I know these are exactly the same height, and these go down on either side, and I lower, and that's how I can level my X gantry on a dual Z system. Richard Cleveland, the first layer, tip from him that I got from these. Again, Amazon, they were cheap. So don't know what they're usually used for, but hey, block. 1, 2, 3 block. I assume that's in machining or something, right? Because these are all threaded holes, or some of them are threaded, yeah, they're threaded. They're threaded holes. So is that used like in machine shops normally? So all I know is they're precise and they're heavy. So I use them sometimes as well for, if I switch over this camera, and if I move this out of the way, let's just quickly go here and get rid of this. Yes, I'm sure I want to get rid of that camera. So I'll use them. If you see right here, I've got it on the base of my close-up camera, because sometimes if I stretch this close-up camera out, the base will fall. So right now I'm using them on the outside of the base as a weight to hold that base down. Even though it's got a weight in it, sometimes it doesn't actually work that good. So machinists use them all the time. Yeah, okay. Swiss cheese block. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're heavy. You don't want to drop that on your toe, because that's solid steel. Well, not solid steel. It's Swiss cheese steel. So good paperweight. Yeah, they are. And they're really cool looking too. When you get them, they're greasy as all get out. 1 by 2 by 3. 1 inch by 2 inch by 3 inch. I didn't actually measure it because I didn't really care, but let's just see. 3 inches on, yeah, you're right. Look, 3 inches on the money. 3 by 2 by 1. Wow. Exactly right. See? Learn something new every day. So we could call this a 1, 2, 3 block. And that's what you guys did call it. 1 by 2 by 3. But what's the diagonal measurement? Aha. Anyways, guys, machine precision. It's great. That's actually good to know. That's actually 1 by 2 by 3. That's about the size of, little bit smaller, but almost the size of a business card. It's a hell of a business card. That's it. I'm going to keep it nice and sweet and short tonight. I think maybe what I'll do is next week, I may put a few of these things into practice. I may take these ferrules and I may actually bring a couple printers up and actually basically live replace some of these tinned wires with ferrules, just so that some more people can see them in action, because these are great. I think this is one of the best tips I've gotten in a long time. So isn't that shop sin, measuring a precision block with a tape measure? I don't know. Oh, so you're saying that I should have measured it with... Okay, well, you know what? Shop sin. I would not want that to happen. Now, I know you're going to laugh at this one because it's a cheapo, but are you saying I should have measured it with one of these? Okay, let's just see. Let's go to inches. Okay, we're on inches. Let's zero it. Let's do this. Whoops, since you did challenge my tape measure, let's do this. 1.0015, although you're going to say that my caliper is out of calibration. Probably right. Let's go to the 2-inch side. 2.0010. And the 3-inch side, oh, not quite on there. There we go. 3.0, oh, 3.0170. Within 0.0001. So basically that's telling me that those are cheap calipers, and they probably are. But they work for what I need for measuring 3D printing and designing. See, when I close it and I zeroed it and I closed it, it's not even right back to zero properly. So, yeah. So I know what you're saying. If I were to buy a decent pair of calipers and measure that block with a decent pair of calipers, that block is going to actually be dead on within 0.0001 inches as 1, 2, 3. Okay. I will take your word for it. Yeah, very cool. Anyways, depends on the grade you buy from what I understand. Yeah. But yeah, again, Amazon. Is that where you're going to buy a dead accurate one of these on Amazon too? So versus a local machine shop or a local machine shop supply store. Anyways, I digress. So I think I'm going to call it, guys. That's it for this week. It's an hour and a half, nice and short. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you're new here, and I think I saw a few new names, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the dislike if you didn't like what you saw here tonight. I do appreciate it. And I'm so glad that everybody popped in, and I hope somebody got something out of tonight. I know that Marcel, you learned about ferrules. I was just as excited as you were to learn about these. That's a really good thing to know, and it's a cheap way to make your printers a lot safer. So, yep, definitely. So you print your 1, 2, 3 blocks at a Ninja Flex TP. That I want to see. So I got to get some Ninja Flex for these tracks for our little droids. So anyways, everybody, thank you for popping in. I truly appreciate it. I don't know what's up for next week yet, but stay tuned. Hopefully midweek I'll have something scheduled for next week. Those of you who are who are following the droid build, I believe you've seen on the last one, we are taking next Friday off. So we'll be back a week this Friday for the droid builds. We stream those on Marcel's channels. Jerry, John, Tripods Garage, the real Sam Prentice, myself, and who am I missing? I think I got everybody. Forgive me if I missed anybody. But thank you, everybody. I hope everybody got something out of the show tonight. Share the video if you want. Links are in the description to the things I did show tonight, minus a couple little things. If you have any questions, my email is in the description as well. Feel free to leave questions or comments in the description after this video posts. And as always, I'm extremely happy that you guys have joined me. I wish everybody a happy week. And remember, keep a level head and keep a level bed. And happy printing this week, guys. And we'll catch you guys all next week. Take care.